Hello students. Today we are going to learn about artificial satellite from the chapter Stars and Solar System. Artificial satellites, you know that the man-made satellite that orbiting about the planets. These are called artificial satellite. So artificial satellites not only revolve around the earth, other planets also it revolve about. You must have heard that there are a number of artificial satellites which are orbiting the earth. You might have wondered how artificial satellites are different from natural satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made. They are launched from the earth. They revolve around the earth much closer than the earth's natural satellite, the moon. You know, these man-made satellite, that is artificial satellites, run by the energy of the sun with the help of solar panel. You can see the solar panel. And when sunlight falls on the solar panel, it produces electricity from which it gets the energy. Artificial satellite gives us many information not only about the space and universe. It also provides information about the weather, forestry. It also helps in GPS system. It also helps in military purpose, for education. That means for so many important works nowadays can't be imagined without artificial satellite. That means for first communication, this is the only way to communicate. A communication satellite is used to send information from one place to another place through signal. It uses high frequency radio waves to send information. You know, students, satellites are mainly used for communication. And communication may be via any medium. Now, a satellite which is installed on the orbit about the earth, from the ground, antenna is fitted which sends signal to the satellite. Then that very satellite send back the signal to the ground station which is far apart from the first one. In this way, communication become easier via satellite. You know that communication means exchange of information between two or more countries, entities, places through any medium or channel. That means it is nothing but sending and receiving or processing of information. That information may be picture, audio, video, anything. And these are changed into signal which are sent and received by antennas connected to the artificial satellites.
Add the numbers.
When this communication takes place between any two places of the earth station via satellite, it is known as communication through satellites. The process of satellite communication begins at an earth station. Here an installation is designed that is shown in the previous slide to transmit and receive signals from a satellite in an orbit around the earth. Earth station send the information to the satellite in the form of high-powered, high-frequency signal about gigahertz range. The satellite received and transmit the signal back to the earth where they are received by other earth station in the coverage area of the satellite. Now each satellite has a coverage area. It cannot cover the whole earth at a time. It is not possible because of the huge mass of the earth and the spherical shape. So for this, a minimum 3 satellites are required to cover the information whole of the Earth. Now for these geostationary satellites are there which revolve around the Earth from above the surface 35,786 km high. On that very high, they orbit in their particular orbital path with the same speed as that of the Earth. Now, the advantage of such geostationary satellite is that as it is moved with the same speed of the Earth, the antennas which face towards the satellite always continuously get information from that. And if we see this one from the Earth in the night sky, you can see this one as a static position. And some satellites are there which revolve about the Earth with a great speed, and it is a continuous speed. So if you look at the night sky, you can see there are a number of satellites which are moving with the same speed from one direction to other direction, and they have their definite orbital path. There are about more than 6,000 satellites till now are orbiting about the Earth, and most of them are not working. 60% of them are working. Not working, become a space junk, and about 2,660 are active. And in future, number of satellites will increase about the Earth. Now, you know that communication satellite has many purpose. Some weather forecast, for global positioning system, for military purpose. So let's see first weather satellite. These satellites are used for weather forecasting so that we can alert people about the natural catastrophe beforehand. And weather satellite monitor the weather above the Earth's surface. Here is a picture given of hurricane, the position of the wind. You can see this is a picture given by weather satellite and meteorological department. Navigation satellite, now global navigation satellite system, that is GNSS, work on that very. Here many satellites work together in a group like a constellation and provide signal from space which transmit data, and receiver from the ground use this data to determine the location of the object. So it is not possible for a particular one satellite to locate or navigate the position of an object. For this, many or network of satellites work, like Indian navigation satellite like Gagan, where ISRO and Airport Authority of India work together to get the proper locations of the aeroplanes. Next, IRNSS 1G, IRNSS 1B, NAVIC are some examples of these satellites.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Military satellite, artificial satellite communication used for spying, safeguarding by military department, and military uses satellites for communication for the protection of their country. Here in you can see here the soldiers in military fixing their antennas towards the satellite for getting signals. They also use radars of high frequency. Here Rohini, you can see it is a DRDO radar which is fixed or installed for getting signals from satellite. Education satellite, ISRO launched first education satellite in 2004. It is the picture of EduSat. and it worked for 7 years. And India is the first one to install education satellite. This is the picture of ISRO Sriharikota launch pad Satish Dhawan, from where most of the Indian satellites are launched by PSLV Polar Satellite Launch Vehicles. If I enlarge this one, you can see here it is GSLV. So GSLV and Polar PSLV are the launch vehicles which send satellite to its own orbit. That means these are the rockets used for carrying satellite inside it. Sorry. Now this is the picture where number of satellites you can see which are revolving about the earth, and most of them becomes a space junk. These are called space debris. There is a inactive artificial satellites, their parts, broken parts are there. Now this space junk has increased in so many numbers that the satellites which are working now is in danger, because the unused part, inactive part or inactive satellites, the broken parts are moving haphazardly about the earth, which can harm the working one anytime, because these parts are moving with a high speed. Now scientists and astronauts are thinking about how to clear this space debris.